Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, as you can see from the thumbnail, we are going to be creating some really cute Bugs and Lola buddy nails. This is a freestyle and I made it for Valentine's Day. It was a Valentine's Day freestyle, so I'm really excited to jump right in and show you guys how I created this nail set. So I am starting off with a color called My Sunshine from Nailzbyddev. It is like a pale yellow, but it's still kind of bright, so I went ahead and topped it with a layer of Milky White just so that it can tone down the yellow a little bit. Then I'm going in with that gray color that you guys saw from Madam Glam, and I'm going to be using this color for Bugs Bunny. So I absolutely was kind of scared to create the set, honestly. I didn't know how hard these characters were going to be to draw. It is my first time ever attempting to draw them in my life, so I was very nervous. And I'm also going to be showing you guys my inspo photo. I think I'm going to insert it right here, just so that you guys could see what I was looking at while I was creating the set. So this was my main inspo for Bugs Bunny. I really loved this, like, infatuation that he has with her in this photo. Like, I feel like this is like the first time he saw her, he fell in love. Like, it's super cute. I love the heart ears and the heart eyes, so I knew for sure I wanted to do Bugs Bunny like this. But I was, like I said, I was intimidated and very nervous because as you can see, his ears and face need a lot of space to really show. And like, I just had to make sure that I had the proportions right, and especially because these nails are not really long, I couldn't get his whole body in there, of course, so I had to make sure that I proportioned it perfectly to where you could still see the heart ears, and you could still see his whole face. That was my main priority. I didn't care too much about his body, just that part, because that was my favorite part of him, like his eyes and the heart ears. So I really had to try and make it as perfect as I possibly could, and like I said, I was just super nervous. But I think it turned out absolutely amazing. So I did have to make his ears a little bit sorry, I can't talk, oh my gosh, a little bit smaller than they were in the photo, but I think it ended up turning out great. So I'm just doing the color blocking method where I'm going ahead and filling in any parts that are gray at first in his face, and I am going to just fill it all in, and then once I'm completely done, then that's when I'm going to go in and cure it. So another thing I had to make sure that I paid attention to was that the eye on our left is a little bit smaller than the one on the right. Proportions like that are things you really want to pay attention to. Also making sure I had the perfect amount of like, I also I also had his little hairs that are standing up, and that I had the ears proportioned right, or not proportioned, facing the right way, because in the photo you could see some of the inside of the ears showing, so I had to make sure I got that right as well. And I was just making sure I had everything the perfect thickness and everything that I needed so that I can move on to the next color. So now I'm going in with the white gel. This is for his eyes and a part of his mouth as well. So the white gel I'm using is from Melody Susie. It's the one I've been using in literally all my videos lately. It is amazing, and I'm going ahead and using this for his eyes, so I'm just going to fill them all in. And I also had to use this color on the bottom part of his mouth, his bunny mouth. And yeah, I absolutely knew for sure when I did my freestyle sale on my Instagram that I wanted to do a Bugs and Lola bunny, and I'm so happy that it was one of the ones that got taken first, one of the spots that got taken first. And even though I did take a long time to ship the set out, because all my character freestyles ended up taking super long, way longer than I thought they were going to take me, this Bugs and Lola set, I had about 5 hours of footage that I cut down into this 41 minutes. So it was very hard to, or not hard, it was very time consuming to finish all my characters, because like I mainly did this so that I can get practice and create some characters that I never get to make. And doing a character freestyle is a perfect way to do that if you want to start making characters, or you want to practice characters more, but you notice that you don't get a lot of orders for character nails. I would totally recommend doing a character freestyle sale where you just write the characters out that you want to do, and then just put that you have a set base price, and it has to be a certain length if you want it to be. For me, I put that the characters had to be an extra long length because I knew I needed the space to be able to make the characters. I am not that advanced to where I can make these type of characters on super tiny nails. I feel like I don't even know what I would do if I had to do that. Honestly, it would be super difficult. So I knew for sure they had to be extra long length, and I wanted to have the freedom to do whatever I wanted on the other nails for these characters. So when I did it, I just put that it was a base price, had to be extra long length, and that I gave like a list of characters that I wanted to do. For example, I had Bugs+Lola Bunny, Homer and Marge Simpson, uh, Donkey and Dragon from Shrek. You could add any characters you want. Mine were Valentine's Day themed, so I made sure to choose all couples or all little characters that are in love, you know what I mean? So I really, the first like two that I really wanted to do super bad was Bugs+Lola Bunny, and then the other one that I wanted to do super bad was um Donkey and Dragon. That was my next one that I really wanted to do. And if you guys have not seen what my Donkey and Dragon one looked like, I have it posted here on my YouTube Shorts, because I do post a lot on my Instagram, but I know a lot of people do not have Instagram, so I'm trying to post my sets. Even if I don't record tutorials for them, post them here on I still want to post them here on my shorts just in case you guys want to see it. And yeah, sorry you guys, I'm kind of rambling. I'm going to have to kind of talk a lot in this video because there's a lot of footage, but I already went ahead and painted his tooth, and I am now going ahead and painting his tongue. And the inside color of his mouth was like a very, very dark, almost black type of red color. So I went ahead and did that. And then his tongue is a muted type of pink. So I went ahead and did his tongue. And I really wanted to capture that his tongue is hanging out, that he's like, you know, fiending for Lola. Like that's really I wanted to capture exactly like the photo. So I went ahead and did that. Making sure that his tongue is definitely in the frame and in the nail, and then filling in the rest of the mouth. But yeah, so I was basically just wanting to say that if you guys have been wanting to do characters and you don't know how because people won't order it, I would recommend to do it at a very discounted price. I don't remember exactly how much I did mine for, but I think I only did it for like 75 or 80 for these sets, and that is severely underpriced, especially for how long it took me. So yeah, it's just because I really wanted to paint it, and I knew that I could have painted it for myself, but I don't know. I would rather someone order it, you know what I mean? So now I went ahead and grabbed this bright red. It's called Speeding Ticket from Nail Reserve, and I went ahead and did that for the heart eyes. And then I'm grabbing the same muted pink I used for the tongue, but I muted it a little bit more by adding a tiny bit of gray. And I went ahead and did that color for the inside of the ears. And I'm sorry for the barking, you guys. My dogs bark literally all day long. But I went ahead and did that. And then now I'm going ahead and doing the shoulder part of him where it looks like his shoulders are raised a little bit. I was really glad that I was able to fit at least a little bit of his body in here. Even though I wasn't able to fit like all of it, I just was able to fit a little bit. So yeah, I was happy about that as well. And then yeah, so here I am just filling that in. And another thing I wanted to say is I actually didn't get to I think a few questions again in my last video, so I'm gonna see if I have them here so I could answer them, just because I know right now there's like not really anything for me to say, and I think you guys really like when I answer questions, so I'm going to see if there's anything that I can answer. So someone asked me, can you install press-ons with gel glue since they're Gelx? I'm thinking the light might not cure through the nail since it has layers of pigment and base coat. So you can and you can't. So if you are gonna want to do a pre-designed set and put it on with the glue gel, you could do it as long as you make sure that the part that adheres to your nail is very, very, very sheer. So for example, if you're going to do a French, the French has to be very sheer, almost to where you could basically see through the nail. Otherwise, the light will not penetrate through. Another thing is, if you're going to do this, make sure you have a super strong lamp. And if you do like multiple layers of opaque gel, it's definitely not going to cure through. That's the thing for sure. So yeah, just as long as it's super sheer, you should be okay. And then another question I got is, when it comes to doing voiceovers for your videos, do you need an expensive mic? What do you use? So I don't use a mic at all. All I do is voiceover on iMovie on my computer, and I just do it super simple. I don't have any equipment or anything like that. I do want to get one eventually, but right now I don't have one. That's why you guys can always hear like the backgrounds of my videos, because I don't have a mic. If I did have one, I feel like I would be able to isolate the sound better, but I don't really know about all that type of stuff. I have to do research. Um, let's see. Someone said, "Can't wait for the video. Hoping your back has been good." Yes, it has. So if you guys remember, I had severe sciatica pain a few months back. Thankfully, it went away. I was still having the really bad effects of it all the way up until like October. And then out of nowhere, I just woke up one day and it was gone. Like, it was to the point where sometimes, even after the sciatica was gone, I would have the after effects. Like, randomly, I would have like a little like shooting pain down my leg in certain moments. And it would be super weird because I wouldn't have it all day, just in certain times. Like, if I would stand up really fast. But thankfully now it is gone. I don't know how that happened to me. I think I had pulled something in my back. I think I had picked something up. I'm not really sure. It was when I was in the middle of moving, so I was carrying a lot of furniture and stuff, and I feel like that might have been the reason why it happened. I'm not 100% sure, but I also was taking these little turmeric little balls that I found on, that someone was selling on TikTok. She like makes them, and I was taking those every single day, so that might have helped as well. And I was also making sure to just walk a lot, because it depends. Like, it depends, because I think everybody's different. Like, you could either walk a lot and it'll make it worse, or you could just lay in bed and it'll make it better. So I was walking a lot at first, and then I realized that it still wasn't going away. And then I had got COVID, and that made me literally just have to be in bed all the time. So I was in bed like every single day, all day, not doing anything, and my sciatica cured itself like that. So I don't know. I think everybody's different, but yeah, my back is better. And then this actually goes hand in hand with what I'm doing right now in the video. Continuing her question, she said, "You make line work look so easy. How can I get better?" So right now I am doing line work in the video, and I'm using my Baddest black liner gel from Nailzbyddev. It is the black liner gel that I use to outline all of my character sets. Anytime you need a black line, always use the Baddest black liner gel. It is super good. And I'm just outlining all of the color blocking that I did. And the brush I'm using is a super thin brush from Amazon. So I got it. It's in my Amzn Storefront under brushes, but you don't use the brush just like that. I did customize it. I cut it to make it thinner. And I saw some people saying that that didn't help, but trust me, you just need to make it super, super thin and use a very light hand when you are painting lines. Like, you don't need to push down super hard, or else your brush is not going to, you're not going to be able to have enough control of the brush. And if you feel like using a longer brush is harder for you, I would recommend using the Nailzbyddev 9mm brush. I switch to that brush ever so often when I feel like I can't complete a line with the super long brush, because the 9mm, you do have a tiny bit better control. So I switch off between those two whenever I'm doing line work all the time. But I think you mentioned specifically for French, and for French, I do use this one that I'm using right now in the video. So I think it just takes a lot of practice and a lot of working with your lines, and trying to have only a little bit of product on your brush makes all the difference as well. You don't need to have like your brush super glopped on with gel, because that's going to make a line super thick and uneven. So that's another thing. Um, and then let's see if I got another question. How do creators get promotional codes to offer discounts with suppliers? So the discounts that I've gotten with people, they have reached out to me. I think there's only been one company that I've personally reached out to and applied for their like discount code program, and that is Bluestreak crystals, because I really love their crystals and I wanted to promote them, but I also wanted to make sure I could have a code to promote. So I reached out to them, and then I got accepted, and I started, that's how I started that. But I don't get any type of payment or anything. And most of the time you do not get a payment, but you do get a code that you can give to people. So yeah, most of the time they just reach out to me. If you want to start doing that, I would recommend just having multiple social media accounts, and having your business email somewhere where they could find it, and they will go ahead and contact you. Another question that I got while I'm still doing the line work. Oh, I was actually going to mention, you guys could see here, Now I switched to the 9mm by Nailzbyddev because I have to do the tinier lines and lines that are just a little bit different, that I need a little bit of a smaller brush. So another thing that I'm doing now, since I finished the line work, I already went ahead and cured all the lines that I did. I mixed a little bit of Milky white gel polish with some of Nailzbyddev shading gel, and it made this really perfect dark gray that I'm using to shade Bugs Bunny. I knew for sure that I wanted to add shading. It just makes your character pop so much better. So I went ahead and added shading underneath the ears and just like kind of all over his face. Something I do kind of regret is I don't think I shaded like outside of his body, which I kind of wish I did. But I did just shade his fur at least. So yeah, I'm just doing that. For the next like probably 10 minutes, I'm just gonna probably, or 5 minutes, I'm gonna be shading him. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Another question that I got is, when starting a press-on business, how many boxes of tips do you need to start out with? Can I pick 3 styles? Square, coffin, stiletto, in short and medium lengths. How many boxes do you suggest I have if I want to open a business tomorrow? So I would recommend to just have the most common, most popular shapes, because or have the shapes that you want to specialize in. I talked about this in my last video, I think, where if you want to specialize in only short almond, short square, like super more natural looking nails, I would recommend to make your whole page specifically about that. If you want to specialize in the super extendo, triple extra long nails, then of course you're going to go ahead and get those type of nail tips. But if you want to do a little bit of everything, and which is what I do, and you want to have like a shape for everyone, I guess you could say, my main shapes to start out with are the shapes that I get asked for the most, and that is square, medium square, long square, and almond. Those are the 3 that I use all the time. Very, very rarely, like not even once a month, probably once every 2 months, I will get asked for a medium coffin or long coffin. And then very, very, very rarely, every like 5 months, I'll get asked for a long stiletto. So it is very rare for me to get anything that is not square shaped or almond, because those are my most popular shapes. Those are the ones I get asked for all the time. Even though I have over like 10 different shapes and lengths, I only get asked for like those 3. So I would recommend to start off with the coffins and the squares, because those are the main ones you're going to need. A lot of people do not ask for stiletto. I don't know why, maybe because they don't see it on my page, but I do love doing stilettos, and I do have them in all different, and long and extra long. But yeah, those are the main ones I would recommend to start off with. So 2 lengths of square and 2 lengths of coffin at least. And then an almond for sure, a medium almond. Because those are super, super popular right now. So that is all you need to start off with. You don't need to start off with like an insane amount of nails, because it's completely unnecessary. Like, you're probably never going to use it except for like one person. I would recommend starting off with those lengths and advertising that those are your available shapes and lengths, so that people can choose from those instead of them going and asking you for a custom shape and length. Because if they see that you have some available, they will choose those. Sorry, I kind of just went on rambling about this question, but I'm using this silver glitter from Couture, and I'm going on top of this hot pink jelly color that from Nailzbyddev. I am using 1 coat of the jelly, then 1 coat of the glitter, then another coat of the jelly on top. Of course, I am curing in between. What this is doing is making the glitter look super pretty, almost like it is a pink glitter underneath, but it is the silver. So by layering jellies on top of glitters, it makes it look super pretty. And then now for the other nails, the thumb and the ring finger, I believe, I'm going ahead with this milky white gel polish that I get from Amazon, and I'm doing 1 coat of this because I'm gonna go in with another coat on top of a pink color, like a nude pink, because I decided I did not want it to be white. I decided I didn't really like the white. I wanted it to be pink instead, so I do end up switching it out, or like layering. So right here I already layered the pink on top, and then for the pointer finger, I knew for sure I wanted to add a little bit more hand painted art. I wanted to incorporate some hearts, so I did these hot pink hearts. I started off with a type of pink that I custom mixed for Bugs Bunny's mouth and ears, and then I realized that it was not a pink I liked. I wanted it to be brighter, so you guys will see that I add Sugar Mama, I believe is what it's called, hot pink coat gel from Nailzbyddev on top. I end up covering it because this pink is too muted for me. And to outline the hearts, I'm going in with Speeding Ticket Red from Nail Reserve. It is the most perfect or super bright cherry, kind of like perfect bright red. So I'm doing that. And then, of course, like I said, I'm curing in between every layer that I do. So that does also take up a lot of time. I try to cure only when necessary. So when I'm doing any type of line work, you have to cure in between or your lines will smudge together. And here I am applying the brighter pink. You guys could just see the difference that it makes. It looks way better than the one underneath. The one underneath looks almost gray. And this one is like a perfect bright pink that I really actually wanted. So yeah, here I am using that now. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill it in. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing there. So while I'm finishing up here the little hearts, I am going ahead and outlining them in black gel. Again, the same black gel I always use for the bunny. So you could tell right here how much of a difference different brushes make, and how much pressure you apply, how much difference that makes as well. So right here I'm purposely making the lines thicker because I want these to look like cartoon hearts. But you could just see the difference in the lines on these hearts versus the lines that I did on Bugs. On Bugs, I had a very light hand and I was using my longer, skinnier brush. And right now I'm using the 9mm from Nailzbyddev with a little bit of a heavier hand. And you can just see how much thicker the lines are. And then I'm going in with some white and creating the little details. Another question I got that is a super good question is, what is the hardest set you have ever done? So, and then she said, love your work. Thank you so much. So the hardest set I've ever done, I think, I'm going to scroll through my Instagram, but I think I know which one off the top of my head. And I think it was just because I didn't know what method to use. But I'm going to insert a photo of it here. And if I have more than one that was super hard for me, I'm going to insert probably 2 photos. But I'm going to see really quick. I'm going to let you guys watch this while I look for the photo. Okay, you guys, I'm back. This was one of the hardest ones I've ever done. And then the next one that is the hardest I've ever done is this one right here. So I'm going to explain to you guys why these were the hardest. So for the first one, I was trying to follow Votino's. So these are both Votino's designs, but someone had asked me for a recreation. The first one was extremely difficult because I was trying to use the pigments like Votino does, and my pigments were not cooperating. I think I was trying over and over and over again, repeatedly trying to get the same design, same outcome, and I just could not get it for the life of me. It was extremely difficult. I wanted to literally cry because I didn't know what I was doing wrong, and I think I just didn't have the same products that he has. So I had to just end up scratching the whole idea of trying to do it the way he does it. And I ended up using my handy dandy makeup sponge with an ombre, and I did the ombre that way with my makeup sponge and some gel instead of using pigments, and it worked way better because I was not getting anywhere trying to use the pigments. It was literally horrible. And then the silver set that I showed you guys right now, that one was extremely difficult because I had to do so many of those little thin lines with my chrome gel, and then on top of that I had to do so many different layers. Like, it had an ombre underneath, and then I had a matte top coat, and then I had the little chrome lines, and then I still had to go over every single little chrome line with top coat, because if you don't, then the chrome's gonna rub off, or you know, whatever. I think, yeah, the chrome's gonna rub off. And then also the placement of all those crystals for both sets was just very difficult. So many little tiny stones that I had to hand place, things like that. That made it super hard. Like, honestly, it's really surprising that my character sets have not been the hardest. If anything, those have been fun to do, and especially because I chose the characters and I chose the inspo photos, so I knew what I was getting myself into. But these two Votino sets were definitely very difficult, and Votino is one of the most um, talented creators that I follow and that I look up to, because his work is absolutely incredible. The techniques and the different finishes that he always mixes together to create a set is absolutely amazing, and I don't know how he comes up with it, honestly. It's so beautiful. His sets are amazing, and yeah, he's one of my favorite creators. Top 3 favorite creators of all time. I absolutely love his work. But yeah, those are my hardest sets I've ever done. And then now on the thumb and pinky, after I'm done top coating this nail, I'm going ahead with my Couture glitter gel, and I'm going to be going over those with the with that glitter gel. And then now we're getting started on painting Lola. So after I get this little clip done, I'm gonna show you guys my main inspo for Lola. It was not in the Lola that was in the photo that I first showed you guys with Bugs. It's a different Lola that I got inspo from. So I'm starting off with her hair. So her hair is like a yellow, golden yellow. I didn't really think it through very well when I made the background yellow. I totally should have made this background like a light pink or something different. But nonetheless, we're here and I was already starting on it. So I was like, whatever, we're going to try to make it work. I'll just add shading and make her really pop. And then I had to make sure to get her skin color perfect. So she is like a brown bunny. So I went ahead and grabbed a brown color that I felt like matched her perfectly. And then I'm sketching out her face, and getting Lola perfectly in frame was definitely going to be very difficult for me. That's what I was nervous about, because the photo that I chose, I definitely knew I wanted to incorporate her head, at least her ears and her bunny tail. And it was kind of hard because I also wanted to incorporate her hands, and I basically just had to make her a little smaller, but I still had to make her look proportionate to Bugs, because if I make her look super tiny, it won't look right. It'll look super weird if Lola's super small and then Bugs is like super zoomed in, like his face, like you can see his face super clear. So I had to make sure that I made everything perfectly. So here I am with sketching out Lola's arms. So she has her arms kind of in the air, she's kind of stretching, and I had to make sure that I got her arm perfectly to where you could still see her hands, like I mentioned, and then also make sure her arm is not too long or too short, because it'll make her look super wonky. So I went ahead and tried my best on the proportions right here. Oh, sorry you guys, I keep talking and I keep forgetting to insert the inspo, so let me insert it right now. So this is my inspo for Lola. As you can see, she's stretching. She looks super cute. I knew for sure that I wanted to do her like this, because in the other photo, I don't know why, I just didn't like the position that she was in. So I'm doing this one, and I knew for sure I wanted to do a more saturated version of her. Basically doing more of the colors that were in the first photo I showed you guys earlier, because the colors in this specific photo of her, she's very muted, very calm, and I wanted this to look super bright and a little more saturated and more colorful. So I went ahead and drew her a little bit brighter, which I saw her with these type of colors in a few different inspo photos on Pinterest. So yeah, I think I mentioned that I got all these photos from Pinterest. I'm not sure, but that's where I got all of my inspo from. And here I am painting the bottom part of her mouth, and yeah, basically trying to connect it to where you could still see on the other side that she's kind of showing through the other side of her arm. And these parts, like the color blocking part, getting the proportions right, is what I would say is the hardest part of any character set. And then painting any type of eyeballs is also difficult. So I really liked that in this one her eyes were closed, so I didn't have to draw her actual eyeballs. That's what I really liked, and that's why I chose this specific inspo. And also for Bugs, I liked that his eyes were hearts, so that helped me as well, because eyes are super hard for me to draw. Eyes and hands are the two things that I'm very intimidated about. So yeah. Now I'm drawing her cute little tank top, and I'm just using my white Melody Susie gel again, and I'm going to be drawing it out. And again, I wanted to make sure that you could see her tail and stuff, so I made the shirt a little bit shorter than what it looks like in the original photo that I showed you guys right now. And yeah, so here I am just drawing it out, making sure her waist is teeny tiny, because her body is bomb. You know, she's a cute bunny. So yeah, I went ahead and just filled it in right here. And then, yeah, honestly, my favorite part of doing all my characters is the line work. I feel like the line work is what really brings the character to life, and is not so much the hardest part for me to do. It's just more so a funner part for me to do, because I get to bring the character to life more. And then, as of lately, like I mentioned, I've been incorporating shading. Shading the characters makes all the difference and really brings them to life as well. And if you want to start shading, I would recommend you just get a Milky White and um, Nailzbyddev shading gel, and just with those two and mixing different colors into them, you can create a million different types of shade colors. So you can always just mix them together. And here I am. I finished the bottom of her shorts and her tail. And then here I am drawing her eyes. So I knew for sure I wanted to draw her with some cute eyeshadow. I think she had eyeshadow on in the last photo, but I wanted to make it a little bit more purplish, pinkish, I don't know. So I went ahead and did that, and I'm just drawing her eyes. Again, making sure that I draw the eye that's not showing right in the front. So making sure that it looks smaller because it's kind of hiding in the back. So making sure that I did that, and then once I like the way the eyes are, I'm going to go ahead and put it to cure. And also right here, I was kind of, I don't know what I'm doing right here, adding white, I think, or just adding a second layer to her mouth. And then right here, I am drawing her ears. I really wanted to make sure that her ears showed at least a little bit, so I kind of made them look like they were out of the frame, but still showing kind of a little bit. So I went ahead here. Her ears are in a ponytail, I think, so I went ahead and drew her ears, and yeah, finished her arm already, filling in her ears, making sure that they look kind of like they're curving a little bit. And then now right here, I'm going in with the line work, which the line work is my favorite part, like I mentioned. So here I am drawing her eye. Her eye is closed. So I did her eyeliner and her little bit of eyelashes, just a little bit, because I don't know if she had eyelashes in the original photo, but I wanted to add some. And then I'm using my longer Amazon brush right now, and I might switch back to my Nailzbyddev. I'm not sure. I don't remember if I did or not for Lola, but I usually always do. And yeah, so here I am kind of going slow because eyes are always super difficult, and making sure I have a super light hand. That is like the most important part when you're doing line work. And then yeah, so here I am lining. I feel like it gets so slow and like boring. I feel like you guys might get bored. So I'm just gonna speed it up a little bit. So now that I am done with the line work, I'm going ahead and I'm going to start shading. So I went ahead with some orange and yellow jelly colors, and I went ahead and um, mixed them together with a little bit of milky white gel to make this color for Lola so I could shade her. So I'm just going ahead and basically applying the shading kind of everywhere. I just really wanted to make her pop, and I'm also going to shade her eyeshadow and her hair, and it's really just gonna make her look so much better. I really love when characters are shaded. And then another question that I wanted to answer really quick, that I've been getting a lot, it's just a quick one, but a lot of people have been asking me how I file my nails at the end and if I can do a video on it. And I do have a video on that already, a specific video just on that. And it is the best way that I can explain that how I do it. I will make sure to put that in the description box for you, just in case you guys have been wondering how I file my nails. And then once I'm done with all of the shading, I'm going to go ahead and put it into cure. And then I'm going to be top coating with my Nailzbyddev top coat. That is the top coat that I use for all of my characters. And now I'm done with that. I am going on to my favorite part personally, which is the bling. This like made the set look so beautiful, so glam, so extra. I love it so much. I'm going in with my Macart Rhinestone gel. I was on my very last bits of this gel in this video. I literally bought one as soon as I was done with the set, another bottle. But I'm going in with my rhinestones. I absolutely love these AB rhinestones. They are so sparkly, so beautiful, and I just love them so much. I'm going ahead and placing a bunch of different sizes and shapes. So I'm starting off with this one. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it's like the triangle one. And then pear shape, of course, is my go-to favorite. And then I'm going in with a bunch of regular SS stones. I'm going in with SS12, SS8, SS10, and I believe I also included some SS5s in there. So anytime I have extra gel, I'll just grab a little brush and blend it in with the rest of the nail. As long as I haven't top coated yet, and on this one I hadn't top coated, so I just went ahead and blended it in. And that's just so that there's no lumps of the gel when I go in to apply the top coat, so that way the leftover gel is actually just like flush to the rest of the nail. And then of course I always go in and fix my gems before I put them into cure, because you'll notice that when you use the Macart Rhinestone gel, your gems will slide around and you won't even notice until you're done. And then sometimes if you don't notice and you just put it into cure, you'll notice when you take the nails out that the gems will be moved and they will not be in the same spot that you put them in. So always, always, always double check your gems before you go in and, you know, cure your gems. So I had already done Lola, so here I am doing the thumb now. I really wanted to do some crystals on the thumb and the ring finger because I wanted these ones to be bedazzled. So I'm going to be applying some big stones on this one as well. And I'm really happy that this person told me that she did not mind rhinestones, so I'm definitely going in with rhinestones here. Here is a big pear shape. I believe this one is a 9x14. And then this circle rhinestone, and then a bunch of, I think the circle one is called a cushion rhinestone. Cushion rhinestone, right? Flatback rhinestone. And then I'm going in with more SS stones. And yeah, I absolutely love the way the bling makes the set look. It is so beautiful. I love the way characters look with bling next to them. Like, it makes it look so cool, so pretty, and I love bling nail sets. It is like my fave. You guys know this if you know me. So yeah, here I am just going ahead and doing the other hand now. And of course, you always want to make sure that you are double, even triple curing your rhinestones when you are using the Macart Rhinestone Gel. Because if the rhinestone gel is even a little bit undercured, like even ever so slightly, the rhinestones will come off. And you also want to make sure that you are very generous with the rhinestone gel. Do not use only a little bit because the rhinestones will not stick. And now, once everything is cured, I'm going in with my Beetles gel top coat, and I'm top coating all around the rhinestones. And yeah, here I am just top coating all around. And then once I'm done top coating them, I'm going to put it in my lamp and cure again for another like 120 seconds, just to make sure everything is completely cured. I do not want anything to be undercured. There has been a time before where I accidentally didn't fully cure my top coat, and when I go into file at the very end, you'll be able to tell because the top coat will start to peel. So that only happened to me once when I didn't fully cure it. I think I had taken it out too fast, and I didn't even notice until I went in to file the nails. So like I said, I do have a whole video on how I file, and I will put that in the description box. But here is the finished set. I'm putting them right next to each other to show you guys. It is absolutely amazing. I think this is one of my favorites I've ever done. I posted it on my Instagram. It did super well. I got so much love on it. So thank you guys so much that showed me love on the set. I'm really excited to post it here on YouTube Shorts. And then here is another quick video. And then this last video is it in the box and all filed and finished. So as you can see, the shape is very crisp. The nails are absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. And I'm so glad I got the chance to paint these characters because I absolutely love doing it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!